I believe, and this is not giving me much resistance. Yeah, it's the plastic. Hey folks, today we're going to talk about graded video games, and boy, for some folks, just hearing those words together, graded video games, is like fingernails on a chalkboard. But I promise I'll try not to blow out all your eardrums, but I warn you, this could get a little spicy. I see graded video games is something that's really taken off in the last 4 or 5 years, probably somewhat around that whole, everyone got a little sick situation there. But it is still really is something that is extremely popular. It's become its own kind of subset of the gaming community. So like some people, they like to collect the loose cartridges. Some people want to collect boxed copies of their games. Some people love that cellophane. That cellophane just puts a tingle in their shorts, and they just gotta see that shiny, gorgeous, sexy plastic shimmering off their copy of Top Gun for the NES. Go figure. Look, it takes a village, people. I'm not here to judge. I'm just calling it like I see it. But for those folks who are just addicted to cellophane, it's a big business these days. With the value of that game wrapped in that wonderful, shiny plastic that's non-biodegradable and will ultimately kill the environment, it's big dollars, to the point where you worry about people making fake seals and H-seams, and is it legit, and is there a little tiny microscopic tear in the corner? OMG! Graded and sealed video games are a big deal to a lot of people. Now, I got kind of like caught up in the hysteria at the beginning of this. Indeed, in fact, let's face it, I've got some CIB and sealed games graded early on. Here's an example. Here's my beloved Sears Telegames Adventure. It got a measly 7.5 when it came back. So that means it wasn't quite like a game that got run over by your mom's Jeep, but it wasn't exactly a Fabergé egg either. It was kind of in the middle. Nonetheless, it was entombed by the time I got it back, so I threw up my hands, put it on my shelf, and realized, well, there's my adventure. And there's my dilemma, to pivot to what really is my relationship with these games. See, over the last couple of years, I made some real progress on the two sets that I'm really interested in. The old Atari 2600, that was the game system. I remember Abraham Lincoln had the Atari 2600. It's a part of history. And of course, the NES, the venerable NES. I'm almost halfway through the complete in-box NES set. I'm over 80% through the Atari main releases. So I realized, if I'm going to really go ahead and eventually entomb all these games in plastic by sending them out to a grader, I'm going to need an awful lot more space. That's something I don't necessarily have nor want to worry about getting. But then the other aspect of this that's interesting too is, I'm you can call me creepy. I'm a touchy-feely guy. I like the tactile experience. That's right. When my friends come over and they say, oh my God, you have a copy of Zelda? Yeah. You want to see the map? You want to see the book? People love looking at that stuff now and again. And if I have all my games entombed in plastic, we just have to sit there and point at it and look at it like it's an art installation in a wall in a museum, where unless you're some sort of crazed, nuts environmental activist, you can either throw soup at it, point at it, or go home. That's not how I like my house run. No soup throwing on the walls for me. No, let's just bust it open and have fun with it. Not sure how I got there. Anyhow, it became clear to me that I had kind of fallen out of love with the concept of grading games, and that is no shade to be thrown on the people that still like to do it. Indeed, I do feel that the difference between the non-grading and the grading folks is the folks that collect first and consider the financial consequences second, and the folks that consider the financial aspects of the games first and the collectability second. But again, I'm not trying to catch a beatdown by Get the Greg games here. I know you got those 24-inch pythons, baby. I'm not trying to start any heat. I have very close friends who love to do the graded games, the buying and the selling. It's like a Wall Street kid in real life for them. And that's cool. You do you. Whether you want to collect stocks, bonds, 401ks, reverse mortgages, Hawk Tuah coins, it's all good. But it's just not for me. So I made the decision today, as I was refactoring my game room a little bit, cleaning up, it's time. It's time today to free the games. Well, here we are. It's the big payoff. I have some games I am going to free from their tomb. Let's take a look at them, shall we? So the first one we have here is the Addams Family Pugsley Scavenger Hunt for the NES. I bought this at an auction. It's an 8.5, which I believe is one of the highest graded copies, CIB, of this game that exists. But if they ever do a pop report, the CGC folks, take one less 8.5 on that pop report, because this bad boy is getting freed. Now, you'll see here, there's some damage here. Before we went live, I will confess, I gave it a preliminary strike to see if this was even really going to be realistic. Judging by that, it appears it will be. So we are going to be as careful as we possibly can here. But again, the idea here, and this will get a little noisy, kids, that we are going to break these open. So I feel like the idea here is to penetrate the hole here first. So I'll give it another good little whack. Well, that was good. That was good. That felt good. That felt really good. That was nice. We'll give it another one. Oh, look at that. All right. We penetrated the hole. Outstanding. Now this is actually, hold on, let's get the, there's going to be some shards. We're going to have to clean up the shards after this. But that's what vacuums are for. So, all right. Now, we just need to get this bad boy open here. So, let's see. Now, I don't want to touch the game, I believe. And this is not giving me much resistance. Yeah, it's the plastic. Yeah, this plastic actually isn't very strong. Glad I'm wearing my hard hat and my goggles. No, I mean, honestly, it kind of pops, but it's not giving me any real resistance here. It's kind of a weak plastic, if we're being honest with ourselves here. So we'll just carefully go ahead and work our way through here. Yeah, you can just kind of chew away at this. There's like a little plastic enclosure on the inside here that I guess you can kind of bring up here. Like a plastic sleeve, not like a full-on plastic, is what I guess I'm trying to say here. So you can see here, it's like that's not like plastic, it's like a sheet of plastic. Just gotta heat it. There we go. And we're just going to separate that seam a little more. Nice and easy, upward motion, so that we don't touch the game. So get a little more glue out. There we go. So we're so close to it, as you can see here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The front seam. See that? You just gently give it a little bit, just very gentle. It's very Bob Ross-like. There you go. See that? Easy peasy, and there we go. Look at that. I really didn't do any actual impact to the game. Nope, there's no marks or dings on it from this exercise. And there we go. We have Pugsley Scavenger Hunt. It's free. Now, this is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And this one got an incomplete back from CGC because what happened was I was very new to this. I submitted a cartridge with a circle seal in a box with an oval seal. And so I got the scarlet green back with a 7.0. And so you know what? I did since get the correct cartridge for this. So I was going to have either me or them open this up, I might as well do it myself and just not get it regraded. Just keep it in my collection. So we learned a lot here from the last exercise. All you really have to do, I think I went overkill with prying it, is just give it some gentle taps here to get this going. So, for example, as a matter of fact, we'll do it the same way. Let's do it the same way we did the other one. So you got to give it a nice little whack. There you go. See there? To just get it started. That's all you got to do. It'll come right out. Oh, well, that worked. Ah, that was the stuff. And there we go. And yep, we did good. We didn't actually impact the game. And there you go. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Yeah, no, we protected it perfectly. Mike, you're free. Last but not least is Adventure. These are actually technically easier to do because they've got these little notches here. Now Get the Greg Games is famous for doing this with his bare hands. I am not quite Get the Greg Games, so you got a little notch here that you can already hear the cracking. See, this is so much like less obnoxious. Now there's these little tabs that you'll hear come apart. Yeah. So as soon as you crack those tabs, that's all you really need to do, and the top comes off. So all you got to do is get these notches, and here you go. Hold on. You know what? Never mind. Please don't open your graded video games.